Okay, preschool friends, show me eyes looking, ears listening, voice quiet, body calm. Today for story time, we are reading Sidewalk Flowers. It is written by John Lawson. He's the author, which means he wrote the words. Sydney Smith is the illustrator, which means she drew the pictures. This is about a girl and her dad going on a walk and her finding flowers along the way. Sidewalk Flowers. Here's the end pages with all these different wild flowers. They're beautiful. I bet they smell like sunshine in springtime. This is a wordless picture book. So, actually, there is no author. I forgot about this. John Lawson is not an author. John Lawson and Sydney Smith drew the pictures. There's no author because there are no words. This is a wordless picture book. I get to tell it using my memory. My dad and I left our apartment and decided to go for a walk. I was in my red coat and we walked down the sidewalk, past different people. There was a man with tattoos, a woman in a taxi. We stopped at the corner to check traffic before we crossed the street. There were pigeons on the sidewalk, and then I spied with looking eyes sidewalk flowers. So I went and grabbed a couple to start a little bouquet of flowers. A bouquet is a group of flowers. Your eyes are up here with those on. Follow directions. We stopped by the fruit stand and I smelled my sidewalk flowers, and they smelled like sunshine and fresh rain. We kept walking a little longer, and our shadows grew taller on the sidewalk as the afternoon went on. As we crossed over a walking bridge, that's a bridge that only people walk on, no cars, I saw more sidewalk flowers. So I grabbed them and added them to my bouquet. Say that word, bouquet. Bouquet. Bouquet is a group of flowers. There was a group of people, it almost looks like a bouquet of people waiting for the bus on the sidewalk. And my dad had to take a phone call. He was going on and on about work when I saw more sidewalk flowers. I let my dad talk and I went and added these flowers to my already growing bouquet of sidewalk flowers. We went past the antique shop where they had different colored jars and vases and lots of trinkets. And we went downtown past the markets where I found another orange sidewalk flower. And I added it to my bouquet. Good remembering. Bouquet, say that word. Okay, nice, good thinking. I had to run to catch up to my dad. He was still on the phone when I noticed a purple sidewalk flower on the ground. So I picked it up and added it to my, you guys are so stinking smart. I love it. Nice remembering. By this time, we had reached the park, and so we walked on the path to go all the way through the park. I wondered, will I find any sidewalk flowers on the path in the park? We walked along, and I noticed something on the ground. It was a bird, but it was not alive. It was. I noticed that it didn't have anybody to take care of its body, So I left it with its little own bouquet of flowers to honor it. And I ran to catch up with my dad. I was a little bit sad, but glad I could leave the bird with some flowers from my bouquet as I walked on. Then we came to a man who was taking a nap on a bench, and he was snoring a little bit. I didn't want to wake him up when I set one flower inside his shoe so he would have a surprise when he woke up. And then I ran again to catch up with my dad. By this time, we were through the park. We crossed the street. My dad met a friend on the sidewalk while he was walking his dog, and I petted the dog for a little bit. And do you know what I did? I gave the dog some of my sidewalk flowers from my bouquet. I put it in his collar so he would smell like sunshine in spring. And off we walked. I walked ahead of my dad now because we were closer to home and I knew where I was going. I ran up the stairs and gave my mom a big hug. I said, "Love you, Mom." We had a great walk. And I left some flowers from my bouquet in her hair. She looked beautiful. My dad walked up and gave her a smooch on the cheek. I walked through the house into the backyard where my brother was playing and my sister was napping. I put some flowers in my brother's hair and I put some flowers in my sister's hair, but she didn't know. She was sleeping in her stroller. I had one flower left. One flower left from my bouquet. Do you know where I put it?
On her hair.
In my hair. So I would have a little scent of sunshine and spring, fresh rain. I put it in my hair and I looked up. I saw the birds fly by. Made me happy. And that is the end of the journey of Sidewalk Flowers, as read to you by Mr. Beam and his group of Alpha